Okay, so we got the GUI working. Now what? Let's add some functionality. We'll make it look pretty later, okay? But for now, we need some functionality. So what are we going to do for the functionality? In the IO class, I'm going to go ahead and make a class called File Manager. And this is just a custom class that we're going to make now that'll contain a bunch of static methods. So the first one we're going to make is the public static string get file text. Sure. And then we'll take in a path. So all we're doing is we're taking in a path representation of a file, like a file's path as a string, in string representation form, whatever you want to call it. And we're going to get the text from that file and return it as a string. So that's actually a pretty simple task. So just to get rid of that error, I'm just going to do that. So we're going to be using this little thing called the string builder. And all the string builder is imagine a string, but like with extra peripherals, we'll say. So the string builder has a bunch of methods and stuff that it can use at its disposal. I don't even know what I'm saying anymore. Basically, the string builder is really powerful, okay? It's like the string, but souped up with extra peripherals. That's what we'll say. So let's just make a string builder. String builder. I'm just going to call this file text equals new string builder. And other than the fact that it is a full-fledged object, you can actually treat this as a string, as long as you use the toString method. Yeah, this comes with a toString method, and that allows us to convert it to a string at any time. But for example, we can do stuff like this. One cool thing that I like to use string builders for are reversing text, because this will reverse the character sequence of any string builder. And that kind of makes it really neat. It kind of makes it really neat. So yeah. So let's go ahead and actually do this now. So the first thing we're going to need to do is access this class called the files class. So I'm just going to all we need to do is say files dot, and then we're going to call the lines method. And then if we enter, we can import, and then we can put a semicolon. Now there's two major errors here. The first one is that lines takes in a path. It does not take in a string. And so far, we've taken the string representation of a path. And the only reason I did that is because it's way easier than, I mean, it's not easier because it's really the same kind of difficulty, but I just like putting the path in directly as opposed to converting it to a path first. We can do that in here anyway. All we need to do is, instead of putting the string version, we need to access another class called paths, P-A-T-H-S. And this class will allow us to convert from a string to a path. So we just need to use the get method, and we just need to plug in the URI, so path. And by doing that, it should now work. But there is another error that I mentioned earlier, and that's that it needs to be surrounded by a try-catch statement, because it throws an IO exception. So we're just going to add a try-catch statement, and we're going to go ahead and not delete that. We're going to go ahead and delete this. There we go. That should take care of that for us. And this now should do nothing, actually, because we didn't tell it to do anything. So what does this files.line method even do? Because I just said to do it, but what does it do? It actually creates this thing called a stream. And a stream is this thing created in Java 8 that allows you to just... let's say it allows you to do it allows you to do some pretty cool input-output stuff. We haven't done a tutorial on it, though, and I don't want to spend too much time talking about it. We're not here for the stream, though. We're here for what the stream can do, and we're only here for one thing the stream can do. And this is something we are familiar with, the for each method. And if you remember, this is actually something that we talked about in the lambda expressions video when we looked at for each in hash maps and array lists. So this literally works the exact same way. So all we got to do now is we have to put an L. We have to make a variable, so I'm going to call mine L, operator, and then we need to put in our command. Since we're only using one line here, there's actually no need for curly braces, so I'm going to put the line in directly. Obviously, if you're slightly confused as to anything I'm doing here, check out our lambda expressions tutorial. Okay, so next up, what we've got to do is we have to say file text dot append L. And then, just so we don't end up having this one really long line that is the file, all we need to do is at the very end, we just need to throw in a plus, some quotes, a /, and an N. And all that does is it tells Java to create a new line at the very end, so that way we can preserve the file's format, if that makes sense. And then at the very end, instead of returning an empty string, return file text.toString. And that takes care of that method. Now, if you're using anything like Java 7 or below, you can actually do the same thing, but instead, all you would do is instead of using this files.lines method that I'm using here, which I personally find to be easier, you can actually create a scanner. So we can say scanner equals new scanner, and you can just, obviously that might be a little weird because scanner is what we use for user input, right? But you can actually use scanner to read files. So then what we can say is we can actually plug in a file to scan from instead of the system.in, because that's an input stream. But we're not looking at an input stream, we're looking at a file. Now be careful you don't just put in the string directly, because there is a constructor for that, so it will work. Just know that it's going to be looking through the string itself, not the actual not the actual thing. Like, not the actual file, it'll be looking at the path that you plug in, not the file, which kind of defeats the purpose. But then all you need to do is while scanner.has next line, which we'll just check again to see if there is a next line to even go to. Then we just need to say file text, same thing as before, file text.append. We just need to say scanner.next line so we can actually get the line. And then we just need to say same deal as before, /n, so we can save the file's integrity, I guess. So obviously this is literally achieving the exact same thing, just with a couple extra steps, because it's 3 lines, and you could shorten it down to, or I guess 4 lines. You could shorten it down to just 3 lines, but I mean, even still, this is literally 1 line, okay? It's way faster. So there we go. Let's re-import those. So next method that we need to create is going to be the write to a file. Public static void write to file. And this is going to take in a string path and a string text. So same deal as before. All we're going to do is this is actually going to be a little easier on our part. So we need to use files dot, and then instead of the lines method, we're going to use the write method. This one's pretty self-explanatory, as it just writes to a file based on a path. So the path is already plugged in. However, if you remember from before, we're going to need to convert it to an actual path by using the paths.get method. So same deal as before. Now this bytes here, that just means that the method is expecting a byte array of characters, and all that means is that we need to take our string and we need to convert it to a byte array. And lucky us, there is a method for that. We just need to use text.getBytes, and that'll take care of the job for us. Finally, in this options thing, all we need to do is type in standard open option. And it'll just allow us to perform some operations on this. Like, how are we writing it exactly? Are we going to create a new document? Are we going to write to a pre-existing one? Or and if it is a pre-existing one, are we going to erase the text inside and override it? Or overwrite it, I guess, in this case. Or are we going to just append it to the end? How are we doing this? Well, in our cases, we want to completely erase whatever is there and add it to this. Because if the user makes any changes to pre-existing stuff, or if they preserve other stuff, we don't want the old stuff to stay. We want to erase it and replace it with the new stuff. So I'm just going to say write, because that will completely override everything, and then we should be fine. With just as before, surround it in a try-catch statement, and then you should be good there. Finally, for the very last method that we're going to do is going to be public static, or not the very last, but we got to do a create file method. And that's going to take in the same parameters, string path and string text. That's good. Honestly, we can just copy the exact same thing, really. And then instead of write, we say create. So there's that. And then one last method that we want to do is public static void. And I like to call this the scan method, although it literally doesn't scan. All it is, it's like the for each method, but for the file. And I could call it for each, but that's not really cool. And basically, when I say scan file, it's going to scan through the file, alright, but it's going to perform an operation as it's scanning. And we can do that via lambda expressions. So that's always kind of nice. This method actually isn't very important to the whole dynamic of this app, but it's a nice to have because you can add some nice stuff within the feature. So the scan file method is actually going to take in a string path and a consumer generic string, and that's going to be called action. I'm just calling it action because that's what Java usually calls their consumer objects, so I'm going to just snag that from them. We're going to go ahead and say, we're literally going to copy the exact same thing that we're doing here. Okay, so this method is actually going to be very similar to this first method we did. So since it's a void method, we don't need the string builder or the return statement. We're just after the files.lines method. Next, remove the pre-existing command, as in whatever you inputted before, so delete that, but you can keep the operator and stuff because we'll need it. And then just say action.accept. And the accept method takes in a string, and we can throw L in there. And then when we throw L in there, it should do its job just fine. And that literally finishes the scan method. So we're done with this class. We can move on now. Okay guys, so that was the end of part 2 of this mini tutorial series or whatever. Basically, just quick recap, all we did was we created the FileWriter class, which just manages all of our input-output for this app. This was actually kind of short. I think it was like 5 minutes shorter than the other video. That's okay though, because there really isn't much going on here. We just coded 3 methods, and they're going to come in handy when we create the UI in the next episode. So in the next episode, or sorry, not the UI, when we create the functionality for the UI in the next episode. So that's when we're really going to start seeing all this class kind of work with the UI to do some pretty cool stuff. And then obviously after that, we're going to get to exporting the project as an executable jar file, so you can run it on any device that has Java, really. And that's a computer. I don't think you can run it on a phone because this app was designed with computers in mind. So yeah, with that said, I will see you guys in the next video. Goodbye.